Hey, I'm back. It's 2:20. I'm gonna try again. Like you needed the detail time, right? Well, it's 2:20 my time, which doesn't mean anything to many of you elsewhere. But so I am still cranking away at this. Yes, it's still my little dude refuses to move. Um, as I try to enable him. Been going through a bunch of steps to try to figure out why he won't move. I put in all of my riggings and my look. Check this out. His body disappears now. whatever, whatever my latest update was, well, it wasn't. It didn't go so well. As now I'm at the point where I'm making parts of the dude's body vanish. Now he's only half a dude. His legs have vanished. He's no longer a full human, full creature, and of course, no amount of anything seems to have an effect on him. What did I do? You say? How did I manage to break him like this? You ask. Well, it's uh, it's quite easy to do. It's quite easy. Um, Apparently, where the heck did my animator go? Just looking around. Did my animator vanish? Where the heck did my animator go? Animator? Animator. Uh, did I turn it off? What the heck did my animator go? Hello, animator. I have to go back to my. There it is. Okay. So I have my animator, and I have my walk, and I have my run, but things aren't quite doing what they're supposed to do, as you can see. So I did. It said I didn't have an avatar. All right. I mean, it was complaining that I had no avatar. I forgot where that's at. Right, somewhere. Okay, avatar. So I had no avatar assigned. So I went through this process, which I'm starting to wonder if I should have done. The AI had me go and create a humanoid avatar. Now, apparently, uh, something broke when I did that because I added this, and all of a sudden my guy he loses his body. So now the AI goes, oh well, let's do another script. mesh renderer, mesh rendering fixer. It created. It says, hey, let's try this one. This one's supposed to, steps to resolve the issue. Add the mesh rendering fixer script. Add the script to the character game object. Another item, which I'm going to add to the character game object. I'm adding so many objects to my character game object. It's quite. So I got to go down to my scripts, and then I'm going to go over to. I keep adding those. A lot of these are just test diagnostics. Very varying um, scripts to help me figure out what's going on. And some of them have been kind of useful. AI has helped me come up with a couple of useful kind of tools. But what did he call it? Oh man, I guess reload. Hello, man. Sometimes it takes a long time just to get something going. Okay, so all right, so it's called Mesh Rendering Fixer. And it thinks the problem is mesh. I don't know. I'm just calling it what it is. Mesh Rendering Fixer. Because I told it, half my guy disappeared when I put put the humanoid avatar on it. And I thought, well, I wasn't having that problem before. So why am I having that problem now? And so I guess we just continue on. Missing reference exception. Can I copy this? How come I can never... Null reference object. I love that you can't copy most of this stuff. You probably need to reassign the mTargets variable of the game object inspector script inspector. My console is showing some errors. So I'm starting to get a little bit familiar, at least with the navigating of Unity. That's not to say much, seeing as it also all that really means is I know where I'm going to see problems. What it isn't doing is actually solving anything. Knowing where I'm going is not going to do anything for me. So this is the mesh rendering fixer it gave me. It's kind of cool that it writes these little tools, and that's kind of what I think AI is good at, is little tools, little things to kind of make this happen and that happen. The error encountering missing reference to variable in the target specifically game object section. The error typically occurs when there's a problem with the Unity editor itself or with how game objects being referenced in the inspector. Here's how to enable the problem. Restart Unity. Really? Let's save. You know, I brought down lunch earlier and brought food, I thought. Apparently I didn't. I brought food and I didn't bring my drink with me. I thought I had it. Apparently I didn't. All right. I've restarted Unity. Oh, no, I didn't. I thought I restarted Unity. Now I'm restarting Unity. It's kind of interesting how the code is separate. Like I'm able to keep the code open, which is kind of weird. Let's go back and get myself turned back on here. So now I got this unable port 56042 VS Unity. You should check if another process is already bound to a port. Firewall settings are compatible. Maybe I should have closed all of it. Let's just close it all. And we'll start it open afresh. Okay, now let's see what errors it wants to throw at me. And I think in order to get back to my scripts, I have to like click on one of these guys. Execution order? Well, I'm not seeing any errors in the console this time. That's good. So yeah, it must have been bound weird. Okay, so we're back up and running-ish. Let's go back to my game. Make sure everything's broken still. Who knows? Maybe some weird thing. It just needed to be restarted. That's it. Nope, he's still missing half his body. Character rendering fixer. I got these things. Fix rendering issues. Fix bounding boxes. Fix force recalculation bounds. Fix rendering issues. Reset bones. Yeah, none of those did anything. They're just a lot of option buttons. A lot of option buttons that don't do anything. My bones are broken. So you can see here, I've got my armature here, which is basically his layout. Got my hip, my pelvis, my thighs, my calves. Got the waist and the spinal cord, which is connected to the clavicle bone, which is connected to the neck bone, which is connected to the head bone, which is connecting to the head end. What the heck is a head end? Is that where the ears go? They put a lot of pieces in here. Upper arm, forearm. So yeah, we got a lot of pieces. I'm not totally sure that what I did by attaching it to a humanoid didn't just break everything. I'm thinking about turning it back to generic and porting in the way it was, because at least then it looked right, and then try to figure out how to get the avatar attached again, because I think I need to reset something. I think I'm gonna have to set it back to generic, because yeah. Seems when I changed the what was it, animation type? Nope, wrong thing. Nope, wrong thing. The animation type to humanoid. Seems when I change the animation type to humanoid, that is when everything broke. I have a fixer showing, but clicking any of the buttons does not really seem to do anything. Because it's like, I hit stop, and of course all that stuff disappears, and my guy is whole again. Be assigned the avatar correction. Missing or incorrect assigned bones can cause parts of the character to vanish or deform. Switching to a humanoid can sometimes cause a skin mesh render bounce to shrink, leading to parts of the character being culled. I have the fixer showing, but clicking in buttons doesn't really seem to do anything. Check animation clips. Set the state. If the mesh render fixer scripts buttons don't seem to be having any effect, it suggests that the fixes aren't being applied correctly or the underlying issue isn't addressed by the script. Let's troubleshoot. Steps to diagnose, fix the issue. Check the console for console logs. I don't have anything in the logs. Oh, I have these current state, fix bounds for Fixed bounds for lizard mesh renderer. Fixed bones for lizard mesh. Doesn't say what it did. It just says fixed. Console says it fixed things. And I pressed the button, but it doesn't say what it did. Fixed bones. Fixed mesh. BO! Trying to get my lizard on the field. It's mutant style, only in appearance. All of my creatures are based on their mascot name. At least that's the going plan. But that also means I have to create. I've already created a bunch of 2D models, and I've already converted about 6 or 7 of those to 3D models. But animating them is going to be a tricky thing. This is the only guy I have any animations for right now that are good. So I'm trying to figure out how to plug him into this stupid Unity. And I've had it going where I had all the states and transitions going, but he would just float on the screen. And it turned out I was missing an avatar, so the AI tells me, oh, you got to fix the avatar. So it tells me how to do the avatar. But then when I fix the avatar, it cuts his body half off. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not, I'm only working with one guy for now. What I want to do is I'll probably just put a team of the same kind of guy on the field. Try to get all the functionality in there. And I can start working with changing the visuals of the characters in time. I'm not worried about that right now. I just want to have guys on field so I can start plugging in like my progress log, which is what I'm using to pull the data from the back end. It's going to tell me what I need to do. Yeah, well, I'm going to set up one set, and then I'm going to torture myself at some point with 31 other sets. So at some point, I'll start getting to that. But right now I'm just doing the one. And this is because the whole point was to make all my characters look like their mascots, or the mascots of the team they originated from. So they won't change. They'll stay that same character. And the reasoning is because it's boring to keep just doing random human faces. Everybody does random human faces on their football players because you can't use NFL people. And I'm not going to try to render real life people, even if I could use their actual likenesses. I'm not about to do that. And since my game is set in kind of a fantasy world, I decided I was going to do this. Now, it's a big deal. You're right. Creating 32 is a ton, and I'm more concerned right now with just getting some basic guys on the field and start getting some interaction so I could actually get the simulations going. I'm more concerned about getting the simulation and all the other stuff going than I am about that piece. Because ultimately, that's going to be like you do that one thing and you inject it. One thing and you inject it. One thing and inject it. So that'll be easy, I think, overall. Yeah, that's true if it doesn't ship. Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get to that point. We'll get to at least something. But yeah, so right now, one guy, maybe it'll be one guy and then 2 guys and then 3 guys, and I'll just slowly release new characters as I can. But right now, like I said, let's just get the thing working. That's the important thing. And so one guy will be all of the stuff I do, and then eventually I'll try to do others. But those are things I can inject. I think it won't be a big deal to do add characters in time, but what I really just need is one that works. Yeah. All right. Well, time to change up a new mascot. We're replacing X. The thing is, if I do everybody as a lizard, then I was like, why is everybody a lizard? Because I have the team, the lizards, and that's why I did the lizards. Only because this guy converted and went smoothly with the whole character conversions, and I actually got a couple of animations for him, and everything worked out pretty good. But now I can't seem to get the animations to work, so I have them. I have them in here, and AI's writing all these fixer scripts and debug scripts and stuff to show me how to do it. Yeah. And I think ultimately the thing is going to be replacing character models. I think uh, it'll be easy. I mean, it won't be easy, but I mean, if it takes me a week to do a new guy, then it takes me a week to do a new guy. If it takes me a week to do another guy, well, not that's what I'm saying, not easy. But if it takes me a week or so to do a guy and inject him, that's all I got to do, though, right? It's one guy. Everything functions around him, so you're just really replacing that guy's visual. And I just got to figure out the process of linking a guy. I think once you get to 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, it'll go smoothly, but it'll just take a long time because it takes a long time. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. A lot of my guys are the same. They're all going to be like humanoid. They all have legs and arms. It's just, what they look like. It'll come down to whether or not I want to do things like create animations for like their tails to move, or, the characters that have wings, do I want their wings to move? I think if I just have their legs and arms, a lot of them are going to look pretty much the same. Of the 32, I think there's pretty much just legs and arms on all of them, except one, which I'm probably going to either have to, I think I'm going to end up throwing out. Or he's going to be a real late addition to the game. And that's the snakes. The snakes don't have legs. They have a tail. And the rendering, the model looks really cool, but I'm like, yeah, I don't have any idea how I'm going to render that one. And it's by no means standard in any way, shape, or form in that. So yeah, the snakes are probably going to get replaced with another humanoid kind of character. So it's too bad, but I just creating the 3D models has gone pretty well. That Trippo, there's an online website called Trippo that does a really good job with converting a lot of them. It doesn't do all of them good, but if they're straightforward enough, it does a pretty good job. Where's my image? I was gonna show you my 3D image. Oh, let's just go to it. I'll show you the guys I've created so far, and some of them came out pretty good. Oops. Dude, I don't even have that up here. All right. Just open a new one. Trippo is it actually does a really good job at converting. So this is the guy I'm using right now. So he came out pretty good, and he's got his run animation that works pretty good. His walk is kind of weird, but I'm not worried about it right now. Like I said, he's kind of cool. But like I have, where's my models? These are some of the models I created so far. This guy is super cool, but I don't know how I'm ever going to get him wired up. Besides, I don't even have a clue how I would do. I mean, his arms would be easy to animate. I mean, it's humanoid. Plug in the arms and shoulders and wrists and all that stuff, head. But the body, I have no idea how I would animate that. I don't even know how I would do a leg. Running is easy. You just have him slither. I don't even, if I could just have like his tail move back and forth while he's moving, that would be good enough. But that's going to be complicated because it's something I don't have any clue how to do. And then this guy, I really like this dude. It did a pretty good job of turning him into a 3D model also. This is the Buck Ray. And it couldn't even, its default rigging, it couldn't rig this guy. It didn't know what to do. The wings, it got confused with. But see, it's just humanoid. He's got legs and arms. So as long as I don't move any of his, as long as I don't move any of his tails and wing, and they just sit there and stay behind him while he's moving, I can just rig up his legs and arms and call it good. But it's still, it's a pretty cool character. Oh my gosh, dude, the snake one was no, the snake one, it couldn't do it. It didn't know how to, it didn't know how, but it was funny when I changed him to when I tried to have him rigged up, what was it? The standing form. Like this one won't even rig. I don't know why. It's like the wings confuse it. But when I go, I'll show you what this guy did. All right, so when I went to the snakes, it flattens his tail out, makes him stand on his tail. it was it was kind of funny. Where was it? Is that one? Oh, is that one even show him rigged? Oh yeah, it does show him some kind of rigging. So it does put rigging on it. It figured out his arms and stuff. It didn't, but let's see what the walking did. I think the walking was the one. Yeah, see, he's walking on his, he walks on his tail. Yeah, so it totally mangled his tail. I guess that's one way to walk, huh? Yeah, I tried. I mean, it took a shot at it. Basically, it gave him one leg and one tiny leg. See how he's got this little tiny leg off to the side? So I think ultimately what could kind of work with him is to treat his entire lower tail as a foot and then just have the upper tail be his leg. So when it moves forward, it would be like it's moving his whole tail as a kind of like a foot. I think that could kind of work. Um, Still don't know how it would work with the fact that it's trying to give him two legs instead of one. I wonder what running would look like. I don't think I even bothered once I saw this. It probably looks the same. He just does it really fast. Plus, I have no animations yet for weird things like throwing or catching or tackling. Yeah, the somersault, I did it for the lizard and it looks pretty cool. It came out pretty good. The lizard's somersault is really nice. See, that's actually not terrible. He looks cool. If I could fix the tail, like shorten the bones and just treat the bottom as as a foot. I think that could work. If I shorten the bones up to the point where the bottom looks like a foot and he just has a really short leg here, that could be yeah, it's really not terrible. If I could fix the leg situation, I would just have to tweak the skeleton. Yeah, he's obviously got two legs. You can see he's got the side of his leg is each side is a leg. Which again, it's a nice try. I'm thinking if I could make his knee be kind of in the top here, like he's got really tiny legs. Put his knee kind of in the top here, and his leg, bottom leg goes down to about here, and the rest of it's a foot. I wonder if that would work. That would be interesting. Um, I wonder what the somersault looks like with him. What would it do with the somersault? Kind of looks like a dude wearing snake pants. He's just wearing a snake design on his pants. But yeah, no, you have access to the skeleton once you import it into one of your tools like Blender. Blender is so hard. Blender is I hate Blender. I mean, it is. Uh, I don't even know what's going on here. He's like he's tripping over his pants. Takes a long time for it to set some of these up. But I have some pretty cool ones that once I get part of the thing that's taking long for me to get, a lot of these guys I could probably easily do. If only he was just standing on his tail correctly. Yeah, I think if I could fix the tail problem, I could make those work better. Yeah, it does kind of look like a get tackled. Probably want it to be a little faster, but yeah. So this guy's pretty cool too, but it kind of messed up the 3D model on this guy. See, he looks pretty cool when you look at him from the left and the right and the top and the bottom. But his wings are screwed up. They're not attached. His wings aren't attached to his body. You can see that they're kind of weird. And then the animations of this guy, it tried to animate his wings or something. It tried to animate his wings, and like the right wing kind of like is like stuck to his arm and it's doing this weird, and then the left wing is kind of just off floating on the side. It does the animations with guys with wings. It really has trouble with these guys with wings. I don't know how I would fix this one either. I could do a try again. Sometimes if you do a retry, it'll redo it, and maybe it can maybe get the wings right. I've done retries and they work better, in subsequent attempts. But I only have so many until I decide to pay for it, which I may, because Triple is by far the best 3D modeler I've seen so far as taking my 2D images. And then I use these other tools like remove AI. This one works pretty good for getting the backgrounds off of stuff, and it just does it really quick. And so once I clean up the background best I can, like in one of my other tools, because sometimes I have objects and stuff I need to get off so it doesn't think that it's a keeper piece. So I delete whatever I can, and then I run it through here to clean off anything I may have left. And then the 3D modeler, Tripo, does really good at turning it into a model. It leaves good detail, because some of them, like I've tried some of these other ones like Mixamo, and they do crappy jobs. And what is the other one? Rodin? Both of them crap. I mean, they weren't even close to as good as Tripo for the ones I did. The only problem is, the only thing I have a complaint about is Triple gives this high gloss result to everybody. It's like they're covered in varnish. I don't know why, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Where is, if I go here, the other one I did was the roaches. These are the roaches. And they were kind of messed up a little bit too. Can't remember which one was the good one though. I think I want to say that one. Okay, so yeah, this is the roaches. Oh no, that one's weird because it really. So the animations on this one get all screwed up too. Even though he's got like all his parts are there and they're all connected and they look pretty good. When I animate him, he gets all screwed up. Well, I mean, it's arms and legs. It depends on how I want to animate this other stuff, right? Oh, see, this one, the leg doesn't attach. But it did a better job with the helmet. The helmet was all messed up on the other one. But Yeah, I'd have to do a couple of retries. If I actually paid for this, you get like 3,500 credits, so a lot more to work with. But yeah, I'd have to decide how I want to create, what I want to do with the legs in animating. But like I said, I could always just go generic, put arms and legs, and leave the rest as just body. Just leave it behind. And then in time, I could add more functionality, upgrade their skeletons to do more. But yeah, this thing had trouble with this. It's not that it couldn't animate it. It animated his arms and legs. It just screwed up the. It just looked really funky because it tried to do stuff with other parts. So the characters that have no extraneous parts were the best. It did the best job. Yeah, they are kind of cool. It'd be neat. I haven't even tried. This one's actually well attached. And look, what's weird about this one is his leg is attached to his leg. So, yeah, I don't know how this would work. Animating it would probably be fine. It's just that this piece would just like stick to his leg. With everything attached, let's see what this does. Curious how this animates. It takes a long time to rig these up though. Now, I'd have to do something. Like ultimately, these are the meshes on them, but I would have to start doing stuff like putting generic on them so I can change their mesh, right? So I can change their colors of their outfits, and so they can have gear related to their team, because we can't have them all wearing their own colors. But so these are the 2D models. I have a lot of them. I have to convert. So. I have to scrub the backgrounds off of some of these guys. Here's a different version. This guy's the Talons. He's a different bird guy. And then these guys are the Titan Reapers. This is kind of forward. The only problem is some of us, the AI kept putting footballs in their hands, and that really kind of screws up because it's hard to get that off and not leave the guy looking all broken. This guy's a pretty simple human looking dude, but again, same problem. He's got a football in his hands. This guy would probably be pretty easy to remove the football because he's got a helmet behind him, but I don't care. I'd probably erase all this stuff and be fine. I kind of like the way this guy looks for I forgot, what is he? The Vile Jocks. He looks kind of vile. The Tuna Socks. These guys are the Tuna Socks. The helmet's like stuck to his face. It's not even a whole helmet. It's just a face mask. I like this one though. This is cool. Again, I don't know how some of these things will convert. Like, even if it does a good job of turning this into a 3D model, is it going to be able to figure out how to disconnect his hands from his legs? I don't know if that's going to work. Then I got the tankers. And I thought, and these are some of the first ones I did. Like I can do the Icicle Giants and the Rhinos. Both of them are pretty good. But again, this guy's got a football in his hand, so I got to figure out how to remove that. The Bad Owls. Again, he has wings, so that's probably going to be a problem. And my Alpha Pigs. Alpha Pigs are probably about one of the straightforward ones that aren't humans, but just legs and arms. And he's sitting good. He has no extra objects on. He looks like he might be one of the easy ones to convert. And then I got the Clown Labs, which just look kind of creepy. And I'm not sure why that's a lab at all. It just looks like a clown werewolf. It's like you get a mix of you get a mix of the things that scare people, werewolves and clowns. I got my street thugs. So yeah, some of these are pretty cool. Oh, and then I got the Saints. I decided the Saints were going to be female. But see, this is just way too much junk going on in her body, and I think that's just going to make it way too complicated. This one's a little simpler, but I have to, yeah, well, they're all chibi. The chibi is kind of the style I was going for. Some of them don't show it as much, but the idea is that they're kind of chibi-ish. Mercy? Is that a character in something? I'd have to erase her entire base. And other than that, she doesn't look too bad, but she does have a lot going on, so we'll see how that one converts. Kind of unfortunate since I am taking characters from, the real NFL. And so I assigned somebody to the Saints. And this is not the New Orleans Saints. Like I said before, it's an anagram of players. Every team is an anagram of other teams. So the Saints are not the Saints. The Saints are something else. I think they're I want to say they're the Swans. They're the something Swans. And so this guy is actually the Saints coach. And then I have the Scorned, which are the Broncos, actually. Again, he's carrying a football. The V-Born Scorned. I haven't... And then these are the Sky Cats. I have no idea. This one works out pretty good for the Sky Cats, but again, I have wings and tail. But anyway, I'm not doing all these guys right now. I got the Samurai right there. He's cool, too. I have to figure out how to get the football off of him. But it'll be fun just to turn these into, turn them into, what do you call it, 3D models. And I'll probably have to redo some of them because, like I said, they've got different problems. 3D modeling with Trippo is going to be easy. I just don't know how I'm going to get all the animations done. And then I can't even get one guy onto my Unity app right now. So all those guys can wait. This guy has to function. And so far, hasn't gone very well. I mean, at least not over the first few days as I'm trying to figure out how this works. The fact that it rigged them for me, actually, the fact that it rigs them for you makes it easier, even if it does a so-so job, because then I can import that and at least have some of the rigging. It'll give me the arms and legs. It gets a lot of it right. I just need to, I don't know how I'm going to, the hard part will be creating animations. I'm sucky. I'm not an artsy guy. So things have to be pretty straightforward for things to work. I gotta let my dog out just a minute. All right, man. No worries. You take it easy and we'll chat. If you want to chat, we can always just, do a phone call or whatever. No worries. Just let me know when. My plan is I've now kind of defined and created how the progress log is going to look and function, a play progress log. So what my back end is going to do is it's going to generate the entire play as a play progress log. And then I'm going to have the UI start the game, and each time there's a play, it'll send the play back to the front end. Front end will render it and then send back a request to get the next play. And then the next play will be sent. So it's going to keep going back and forth. Render, get a play, render, get a play, render, get a play. That's the plan. Um, AI says it'll work. Okay. So it even helped me kind of write the how I would read the play progress log as the route step function, but you can see it really didn't give me much. It just gives me the what I want to call it, the outline of what it's going to do, because it doesn't know what my whole play progress log is. So what I'm going to do is I'll create a dummy progress log for just like 1 or 2 players, and then I'll try to see if I can have it go through the steps of the progress log and render those guys moving according to the log. If that works, I can start adding more stuff. Like I'll add more complexity to it, get a couple guys in there doing whatever they need to do. And it'll, at first, it's probably just going to be them kind of shifting down the field. I just want to see that they can do whatever, because you need animations for all the individual effects. But to do the simulation, you don't need anything really. I mean, I just want, at first I'll just have guys just to move across the field, get where they got to go. Then I have to do an animation for like the football moving, basic stuff. I say it's basic, but it, the most base of things that I need will be things like throw the football. And then maybe I'll do at first, it'll just be they move across the field, tackle. But I really just need to figure out a way to see how it renders the progress log. If it's able to go through the steps and read the play progress log, moving guys around on the field the way I want, and not, my biggest concern isn't that it's not possible, it's that I don't know how well it'll perform. Because this isn't like move guy from A to B, or move guy from A to B to C. It's more like move guy 1 foot, move guy 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, stop, turn, turn. So, and it's just doing it quickly, right? So it's going to render the whole thing. It's going to go through every step, and then every character will send in their character information, and it'll have like their speed. So it'll be able to render, know how fast these characters need to move according to their own personal speed. So yeah, I have all that information set up, and I got a progress log, structure defined. So I can actually play with the Unity part for as long as I need to get something kind of looking good. And then I go back to the back end and I can start populating the play progress log with actual data, because I've already got a lot of the function and a lot of the code in place to start loading a play progress log. But I've got to build a lot of dummy data first. I've got to get my some game plans in there. I got to finish building some plays. I finally got a good game plan built for a basic game plan. Now I got to build some more plays to plug into said game plan, more types of plays, runs, passes, things that the game plan uses. And then I could probably start doing a play progress log that doesn't use people. And then, because I'll be able to execute the plays and have things happen. But I still need to get all the player data in, which means I got to finish importing all of my stats data, which I kind of started doing a few weeks ago. Kind of got it going pretty good. But, as I hashed out more and more how I wanted the back-end engine to work, I realized there's slightly different structures I need to do. So I got to tweak that, get the imports going again. And once I get all the data, the individual stats data imported, I got to start converting my stupid formulas, because I decided I am going to bring them into the app rather than using them in spreadsheet. Because the problem with all of my formulas being in my spreadsheet is that means once they're fixed, or once they're set for the individuals, they're set. I can't change them because I won't have those formulas to recalculate their skills. And I need the skills to be, editable, adjustable, so I can have little tweaks and little effects in the game based on the player's abilities. And I won't be able to do that as long as the characters are built off their base stats, because they'll be fixed. Changing a skill is too big of a change, because most characters, what they're going to be using on the field is like 8 different skills. And then they'll have these things I call skill flashes. Skill flashes are like little peaks and perks that you get throughout the game that don't happen all the time, but they have a chance to happen, and they can help your guy, do something or whatever. And there's different things that can affect or adjust or whatever the skill flashes. But additionally, they have their own stats that adjust their normal skills, and over time, those stats can change as they get experience and whatever they're doing throughout. Those skills will change, and that'll adjust their base skills or their play skills. Their 7 or 8 or whatever skills that they have will be tweaked by the formulas as their underlying stat skills adjust. And all that has to happen dynamically in the back end. And so as I get more and more of that in there, I can't have anything fixed coming from the outside, because then I can't change anything. So anyway, that's why I'm going to have to bring it all in, which means I have to either convert or come up with a way to easily bring in the data. Oh yeah. No, I've been playing. I've been playing a lot of Big Win football, and because I really like how smooth and how the players move. It's pretty generic. Your game actually is pretty good too, by the way. The only problem is it's I have to play it. I can't just look at it, watch it, observe. And since my game is a simulation, Big Win football is a simulation. You give it the cards to play, and you can literally just sit there and watch it play. Now it doesn't do very much as far as that goes. It's pretty limited, but it does do a really nice player simulation. Oh, is it? Is it really? Well, Retro Bowl, which is the game that is a lot like yours but older. It's 8-bit graphics. It's basically a lot the same, and it does a sim. But the biggest problem I have with that game, and honestly, one of the ones I had with yours, is that it doesn't play any defensive side of the ball. So when your team's on defense, it just goes, this happened. It's like, okay. It's like nothing, it doesn't show you anything. It just shows you like this, the other team's moving the ball, and they scored or didn't, or did whatever. And now it's your ball. It's like, okay, now you're back on offense. And that's one of the reasons I like to watch Big Win, because now Big Win is a 100% sim game. In other words, you get all 15 minutes of every quarter. It does a good job with pacing too. It's a little too fast. I think the plays move about normal speed, but the clock moves super fast. So I don't know that you're getting the same as a full game, but you get the feeling that you're playing a full game because it goes the full 15 minutes. It's just that the clock is moving at like 10 times speed, and the players move kind of normal speed. Except that it cuts out a lot of stuff like running back to the line of scrimmage and a lot of the unnecessary bits. It just gets straight to it, and therefore it's not behind all the time, but the clock is really fast. But it looks cool, and it takes probably a sim, as far as the sim goes, that does both sides of the ball, it does 5 to 10 minutes. I mean, it's a pretty quick game. You do feel like your team is like, is really rushed, because you really only get the ball maybe 4 times. If you're driving a good drive, a team can easily take up most of a full quarter, even though they're getting the full 15 minutes. So it's a little bit more of a kludge. So you like with I think with a lot of these games, they give you like 2-minute quarters, but it burns normal time. It's 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. But with that one, you feel like you're doing a full 15-minute quarter, but they just burn the clock really fast. So I don't know what I think of that, to be honest. I don't know what my own personal opinion is. I'm trying to go for full sim. I want my game to be a full game, but I don't know how fast. And now, because a full game is if it ran fast and you didn't spend a lot of time with like extra junk, um, well, it should take less than an hour, right? There's only 18 minutes in a game. If you're playing a full game off of real clock time, um, it's 1 hour. A game is only supposed to be an hour long. But if you cut out chunks of time that would normally burn clock, well, I really, 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 really want to make it work on mobile. I want it to be on mobile. I want it to work on PC too, but the reason I want it to be on mobile is because I want to be able to play it. I want, if I'm going somewhere, I want to be able to pull it out and start a sim. Because my idea is that you start a sim, it doesn't have to be because I'm going to be playing an entire game, a full game. I'm not going to, I don't want to require, since it runs on the back end, you don't have to be there. You could just start the sim. Yeah, but you could start the sim even when you're not playing. You could like, all right, start sim, and the game will be done when you come back to the phone. And you can see the results. And what I want to do is interact it where it sends notifications to you while it's simming if you want them. You don't, obviously people may not want them. But you could say start the sim, and then it'll send you a notification when your team scores or when the other team scores, or it'll let you know end of first quarter, blah 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 to blah blah blah. I mean, so you're still getting that interaction with your game and the team that you kicked off to play, knowing that they're using your game plan and all the stuff you set up to play with, and the game is going, and it doesn't require you to be in the game because the whole thing runs on the back end. There's nothing that requires you to be on your phone, right? I mean, why? You start the game, it runs. If you're not there, it just won't render on the front end. It won't have nothing to do. So if you start the sim, it can just send you notifications. Yeah, and I'm thinking I might go a little faster. Like if you're simming offline, it might go at a you know a 2 times pace or something, so that it's done within 30 minutes or so. I would like to be able to see. I mean, I'll play test the game speed to find kind of a sweet spot when I get to that point. Right now, get everything working. I can always try to adjust how game is gonna play. Right? I mean, I can play with game speed and that stuff. That's easy. Adjusting game speed is just multipliers and whatever. But first of all, got to get it all working. Watcher of Realms does that. If you're if you pay, you can get like 3 times speed or something to accelerate certain things that are going on. And I could see doing that to some point. Get faster speed simulations for paying a little extra. I just got to decide what. See, here's the thing. For me, or for my plans, I want the game to be central, right? So you can't just, like a lot of the management games with the back end stats management and salary management and all that, a lot of those games that go into that, the sim doesn't do anything. I mean, it's really just crap. It's a bar that moves back and forth, or arrows, or some other lame interface that really and they give you the option to do something like sim week, sim month, sim season. It's like, why would people, I have no interest in building a game where people want to have so little interest in the actual game that they're willing just to skip the entire season and sim the whole thing and just tell me what happens. It's like, that's stupid. Why would you want to do that? It's like, yeah, that's not what my game's going to be. No, I don't. I am not going to allow people just to say, I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to sim the whole game. Tell me what happened. Look, there's a lot of games out there that'll let you just go sim the game and not play it. If that's what you want, fine, go play their game. Because you're not going to get that from my game. I want to try to make it so the game, and that's the problem too, right? Because in order to make the game a cool visual interaction, I need to be better at graphics, and so that's the biggest thing I'm worried about. I don't know that I'm going to be able to accomplish all this graphic stuff. Even if I get players moving on the field and doing basic stuff, and I have all these ideas in my head for how I want the collection to work and be able to build your player collection up, but I don't know. I'm worried about that. I'm worried about it a lot. I may have to cut back on some of my visual graphics plans, which is unfortunately, excuse me, is a lot where I wanted to do the pay elements, because the visual graphic stuff doesn't affect gameplay, and I don't want to affect gameplay. I'm not going to charge people for gameplay enhancements. And you can't like speed up the game clock, because I'm building this game to have one-on-one. You can play head-to-head or in leagues with other people. So if your team is in a league with someone else, I can't let people just sim on the whim, right? Because that's not, people are going to want to have interaction. So in that case, I'd be more like Football Head Coach 25, which is another phone game, but it does crappy sims. Actually, it's really not the worst. It's a football that moves up and down the field, and then they show you the card representing the player that's moving. It's not the worst, but it's also not great, because it uses these player cards that are all pay to win. The more you pay, the better your cards, the blah blah blah. And then people complain because they put these balancers in there that no matter how good your team is, you might still lose to really bad teams, which really is how it should be. You should be able to lose to bad teams if things go against you, but not in a pay to win. If people buy cards that are supposed to be way better than everybody else's cards, then you darn well better let them win, because they paid for those stupid cards. It's like they don't want to be paying money to get the best cards and then keep losing anyway. And it's because they have no control. There's no other way to do it in that game. And of course, the developers probably feel we need to balance this out so everybody feels like they're able to play and have a chance. And it doesn't work. That's the one drawback with that game. But Football Head Coach tries to give you some interaction with the sim. Like, you can define the very basics of how your team plays versus other teams. And it had some advantages. It does some pretty cool. I like the trading kind of thing. You can trade, but again, you're trading cards for different purposes. Like, yeah, it's weird. But the sims on all of those games are pretty rudimentary, and I would like mine to be better than that. Anyway, but first I got to get one dude to move on the field. One dude, that's all he's got to do, man. I'm thinking I put the humanoid skeleton on this guy. His tail doesn't move, of course. It just sits behind him. I went ahead and put a humanoid skeleton rigging on him, and it didn't work. Something broke. I have no idea how does this even work? I assume am I supposed to be drag and drop? How does this work? Spine, hips. Hips? That's the hips? Why is that the hips? Why aren't these the hips? Oh, is that leg? Oh, upper leg. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's true. Upper leg movement, lower leg movement. Oh, okay. I guess it's all set. Hip, waist, spine, clavicle. I don't even know what these why are some of them dotted lines? Thigh. upper arm, upper leg, right thigh, left thigh. Huh. I have no toes. It looks fine, I guess. I just really don't know what I'm doing. Let's see here. If I go... So anyway, the AI gave me a bunch of tools to help figure this out, but it didn't quite. All right. Script is currently logging generic messages like fixed bones or fixed messages, but it doesn't provide enhanced logging for me. Here's how we can improve this. Okay, so updated code with detailed logging. All right, so this is the fixed rendering. Here's the updated fixed rendering method with enhanced logging. Oh, I have to reset this phone. My wife has given me the go-ahead to put this phone back to its factory state. Oh my gosh. Be right back. All right. Yeah, so if you do a PC game, if it's primarily a PC game, typically it's a single pay thing, right? You just say, $30, $40, $20, whatever you're going to try to sell it for. And then you can do things like put it on Steam and stuff and do the Steam, what do they call it? The Steam, the whole Steam marketing process for new games. They have a lot of that. If you do it on Android, I don't know what to do for Android when you got an upcoming Android game. I mean, there's no wish list thing for Android games, I don't think. I don't know how you do it. How you build up interest in an Android game. Like you do a Steam, they give you, there's a lot of ways to try to get an upcoming PC game. There's a lot of ways to kind of give it, while to try and get it some marketing traction before it's ever released. I have no idea how you're supposed to do that with Android. There is a website that says how to market a game. I feel like it feels a little, I don't know. I think it's ideas. It's cool. Works. Just the guy who does it. I feel, yeah, I don't know. He just feels a little shady. I know he's doing good stuff. He's probably fine. It's just such a money thing, you know. Chris Zukowski, he's a legend, is he? Why is he a legend? What makes him a legend? Because he's well known, or has like what has he done that's made him legendary? Any kind of yeah, but that's for Steam, right? Because Steam isn't mobile games. Steam is PC games. If you're trying to do a mobile game, how do you, I mean, what, that, does the same processes work? So you guys have a pretty good sized team, don't you? I mean, it sounded like by the way you were describing it, you have at least, what, 6 people working on your game? I mean, it's not a huge team. It's certainly no AAA title type of thing, but still, that's a solid bunch of people working on it. How long did it take you guys to get it done? I mean, to get it where it's at. Is it ever done? Who knows? Oh, you have to. I mean, look at me. I'm every hat. Some of the hats don't fit very well, though. Some of the hats that I have to wear fit pretty good. Some of them don't fit at all. It's like, create art. It's a hat about this big, and it fits over the top of my ear. Work with AI to get your art. So AI has been good to help me get art. It's doing pretty good for giving me my 3D models, which is a big deal because I was trying to do Blender to try to put up a mesh on my 2D models to try to turn them into 3D. Oh, that hurt. That was so painful. I'm telling you, that sucked a lot. It's just so clunky. Oh, dragging walls, trying to put the meshes on, and then you go to YouTube and the guys go, oh, just do this and this and this and this. And I'm like, none of that works. I go to drag a wall and it's like it freezes and then it locks and then the stupid thing won't drag anymore and I can't add any more walls to it. I was like pulling my stubble out. It's like, I hate Blender. It sucks. It doesn't do anything it's supposed to. None of the options that you're telling me is supposed to work. It's like what was that? What was it called? Starts with an E. Extractor or something like that. Extruder. Extruding things just never worked right. I hated it. Yeah, well, you know, unfortunately, my game, there's things I can probably cut out if I have to. I don't know what it'll be yet. What things I'll cut out. The back end stuff, I'm not cutting any of it out. I have a plan, the back end, the way everything's going to function, what's going to do, how everything's going to process. That stuff's the heart of my game. I can do that. It's my hat fits. It's just going to take a while. It's the graphical portions. The graphical portions, the hats fit poorly, and I'm gonna have to learn and hope that the art can be done, and other stuff is just time consuming. But I don't know how I'm gonna plug in all these guys. Like I said, I got to figure out how to get one guy working, and I was hoping I'd get him moving. At one point, I thought I had it because I had him on, but then it said, "Oh, all you need to do is this." Because I had it where I pushed the buttons and he would slide, and then AI goes, "Oh, well, one of the problems is you probably don't, you don't have your avatar set." So I went to set the avatar the way it told me to, and now I'm broken. And I'm like, see this avatar? This didn't work. I put a humanoid. I should have just left it the way it was. Yeah, but that's kind of where I was headed that when I was doing all the back end stuff. But then it occurred to me, nobody gets excited. Audience does not get excited about what your back end can do, what the code can do. They don't care. Nobody cares what the code can do. If it ain't doing it in the UI, it isn't doing it. Period. So I have to get comfortable with the UI. I need to start figuring out how to make screens and attaching things to screens and putting my guys on the field, at least a basic one. Yeah, I should. I'm very stubborn though. I hate wasting time on things that aren't part of the process. If I'm gonna learn it, I feel like learn the thing you're working on, man. Spend all your time learning how to make the thing you're working on work. Wasting time on things that aren't the thing you're working on is a waste of time. I mean, not totally. You're gaining some experience, but you still have to go back and redo it with everything else. So, I don't know. I struggle with putting time into things that don't have, that you're just going to throw away. What is this? Lizard walking has animation import warnings. See, what is this? Lizard walking has animation import warnings. See import messages. I just clicked the button that said put them here. What? Where are these import messages that you're talking about? Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, that's a diagnostics thing I was doing earlier. That was at 240. Jeez, that's forever ago. That's 242. What? All right. Well, I gotta get back on. I gotta figure out how to get my brain back on this thing. I know. Gray boxing and prototyping. No, you don't have to be quiet. It's okay to make suggestions. I understand. I've got to. I mean, like when I didn't know anything about Go, the backend I'm developing, right? And I had worked on microservices for like 10 minutes in my previous job. So I knew what they were, but that was about it. But I just dive head in, man. I go like, screw it. I need this. I'm doing it for this. I want to write everything according to what I need. And I got it. It works. It's great. Now I'm feeling pretty good about where it's headed and how it's going to come out. And I've got a good structure as I finally got to a point where I think I'm working on the tail end of each piece, the power parts. But I just decided I needed to have something on the UI side, something to plug in the stuff I'm working in. So if I can get this guy to move and then I can create a play progress log, I can have it just feed into him and he'll slide and move on the field according to the play progress log. And then I can start going, oh, let's build a screen, pull the data in from the back end and load that up into him. And then he'll feed right off of the back end. But like on React, I'm thinking I might not even animate these guys. I might just stick them on the field. I thought about trying, at one point I thought about doing a 2D version where every character, instead of being a 3D model, was just a 2D model, where they just kind of all slide up and down the field, like some of the 8-bit graphics games, like Retro Bowl does that, right? All the characters just move down, up and back on an 8-bit graphics. They're not 3D in any way, shape, or form. And so you can't change the camera angle. All you see is everything's in front of you. It works. It's kind of boring. It certainly doesn't make it exciting to look at. But it is more fun to see a 3D animated character like they do on the Big Win Football or something like that. Or even yours. Yours does it too, I think. You got the 3D going. Right, but it's right now, my problem isn't getting the guy to move. I've had him move up and down the field. It's animating him that I can't see him to get going. I was using my my arrow keys and I was shifting him up and down the field. That was working. But then I tried to get his animation going and that broke stuff. So I got past the movement, kinda. I was able to move him with the arrow keys. And then I saw how it did it by setting the speed and the directional, and so I could visualize increasing that speed or doing whatever I need to accordingly. But I need the animations to fire. So I think I might turn these off. I might go back to generic. Because whatever the humanoid did, it broke everything. It just totally screwed everything up. I wonder what would happen if I turn these back into generics. Let's see, which one is, no, cancel. Which one of these is my idle? Oh, that is the idle. Okay, so let's go back into generic and just say, create from this model. Root node. All right, we'll go armature. Armature root. See what that does. Because my other plan was not working. And then go back here, turn this back into generic, copy from other avatar, and then pick the source, that one. Go back here, save. Copy from other avatar, update, apply, update, apply. Okay, let's see if that's any different. Can't be any worse because whatever I had going before did not work. Totally mangled everything. So I'm going back to generic, see what that does. Ah, see? Now his body's completely there again. That in itself is a win. I didn't lose. His body's back. His body's back with me. I don't suppose any of this wants a trigger. Nope. So still doesn't quite want to do that correctly. And hey, oh my gosh, is he walking? Oh my gosh, he's walking. I'm dead. I passed out. He's walking. He's walking on the field. Oh my gosh, he's running. Except he's not actually going anywhere, but he's running. My arrow keys aren't working though. My turning him around. Ah! I think the problem is when I hit the run, he only has like 3 feet. Oh, his feet are in the ground. I need to elevate him a little bit. His feet are sinking into the floor. But so cool. He's working. I just got to get the rotations back on him, and so I could turn him in directions and have him move. It'd be cool to just put him on the field and just be able to control him with the arrows. Even though that's not really what the game is, but I figure if I can get that kind of control over him, then I can inject my back end feed to him and he'll move. So the problem as it rooted out, just to narrow this all down, everything I've been doing today, the problem turned out I was missing an avatar. And now AI tried to make me create a humanoid avatar, which broke everything. But he was already a generic. The avatar just wasn't assigned. And now I've got him working. Hey, Nintendo, how's it going, man? So now I've got him assigned to a generic, which is what he is, and it works. I just got to raise him up a little so his feet stop disappearing in the ground, and try to give myself arrow control back. I am noticing that my running just zips forward and stops. I think it's because one of them doesn't have a loop or a repeat. Because like this guy comes back and starts walking. The running just gets to the end of his destination and stops. So I think it's just kind of some settings there, but bet you there's something I can figure out. Speed, cycle, offset. What does the walking do? Speed, right? Let's see what the walking's doing here. Let's go speed 1, walk 1. What's different? Yeah, nothing really. Oh, that one has a multiplier on it. The walk has a multiplier on it. No, it doesn't. It's just grayed out, but it's there. AI will never be able to do everything. AI can never do everything because AI is not creative. AI can only create what it knows to exist. So if you want new stuff and new ideas and new creativity, you have to do it. And if you want it as your visual, you're going to have to do it. But what AI will do is make that process go way faster. Way faster. As long as you can learn enough intricacies as to what you're asking AI, once you've learned enough to know how to give AI the exact, like I said, the best way to think of AI is this super skilled coder right out of college. Guy has no idea how to create things, but he can code with the best of them. He makes no mistakes as far as syntax goes. And you can always you just got to be able to tell him exactly what you want, and he will whip it out for you. And he'll get better and better and better and better at doing that. And you'll be able to go and create new things by having it build the components and pieces that you need it to do. Like AI, you can you give it the parameters of what an image should look like. Eventually, AI will be able to do things like, you'll be able to tell, I need a 3D model of a such and such dude, and it'll design it, build it, and give you a 3D model all in one shot. And then you'll be able to do things like the animators are going to get better. But I wish the animators would just let you choose where, like, you take the model and you say, this is his wrist, his bone. Stop trying to guess that. It's not that hard for anybody to point out this is his wrist, his bone, his neck, his head, what all the different parts. And then let the animation build up an animation to go with those point locations. Rather than having it guess, just point out those locations, and then the animation can, or the logic can go build up the rigging based on what you told it. Kind of like it does with, like Blender will do if you give it a basic form of a person and you say this is where the wrist and blah, 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 blah. But you need to create these models that are very specific to it and tell it exactly, and then it can do it. But I think AI is going to get where it's a little bit better and smarter at being able to do that stuff without being such a precise. This way it'll be easier to pull it off of an image and do it, kind of like it did with this. But I think my 2D models would be much easier to convert if it wasn't so, if it didn't have such a problem with, my standing is weird. Why is he turned weird? I want to, okay, so I've got him working, but he's not, the arrows aren't turning him anymore, so let's get that fixed. So whatever I did, I got him fixed. Woohoo me! Mostly, kind of, sort of. All right, so okay, I got the animation fired. However, a few things I am not sure. One, arrow keys not turning anymore. Oh, you know what it is? I wonder if I could, let me go back to my, I'm going to take a guess at this one. If I go back to my main guy here, oh, no, right here, and what if I take off the debuggers and just see what that does? Because I'm wondering if some of the things that I did were blocking or conflicting. Yeah, look, that works. It's a little short. I think I've got like a 1 second gap. I need to increase the forgot how I changed the speed though. Oh, shift, that's right. The shift faster isn't working. Doo-doo. It's kind of fun playing with him, even though he's not, I don't have the running down. Not bad since what, I started Friday and I've got a dude walking on my screen. It's Monday, I've got a guy walking on my screen. That's cool though, he's getting somewhere. I'd like to get at least, like I said, I'd like to do at least 2 models. One for the offense, one for the defense, and I can kind of have them button heads. So then I can start activating. Because when I start playing with the actual attaching a play progress log, I'm going to need to be able to have them bumping into stuff and running. I mean, bumping into other players. So if I can get a couple players down, but then I have to put like a bunch of these guys on the field. So that's the other thing. Drop a bunch of players, just have them kind of go. I might see if I can get a couple of other basic guys that are pretty easy to set up, like this one. It took me 5 days. Oh, hey, 30 times 5, I'll be done in, let's see, 153, what's that, 6 months? That's not too good. That's 5 months, but I probably need to pick up some pace somewhere. Actually, I started Friday, right? And I only worked an hour on Saturday, a couple of hours on Sunday. So in reality, one guy a week times 30 weeks is still a long freaking time. That's 7 months. Nope. I got to get it down faster than that. I'm not doing all 30. By the way, I'm not. I'm only going to do like 2 different guys. And then I'm just going to work on the whole system after that with just 2 guys. 2 styles of guys. And I'll just multiply them and do stuff with those guys. Isn't there already a Call of Duty-ish zombie game? I mean, it's not Call of Duty, but it's there's got to be a zombie game for everything. Isn't there like 1,000 different zombie games out there? You got to come up with a new bad guy, man. Yeah, but I won't do 30 because there's a lot of problems with a lot of these characters. It'll take too long to work out the problems. I'm going to do all the easy guys as the first ones I do. I'm going to do a couple of easy guys to start. As much as there's some I want. The automatic rigging is Blender. Trying to set up the rigging in Blender is just such a pain. And then doing animations. If I can't get the animations made dynamically, I'm probably going to wait. Yeah, I'll get better. I'll definitely be whipping them out pretty quick. I mean, just getting this one is now I have a model, right? So if I have a guy that's pretty simple and straightforward, I can just copy this and make him work. It's the animations and stuff I'm worried about. Because if I want to add animations to guys that don't have rigging, I got to do Blender and do all the Blender parts, and then I got to figure out how to do an animation, which I have no idea how to do. If I do humanoid, it's not as hard because you can download some animations, supposedly. But then I got to build up a humanoid. These guys are kind of humanoid, but apparently it's the way Triple sets it up is it's not standard because it was breaking. All right, so let's try and see if I can fix a couple things. So the arrow keys are working fine. What I don't have is I'm not changing speeds, and the rendering. Base. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, that first day was crazy. I was losing my football field. I didn't know where it was going. To be honest, it's not like I have it down. I mean, yeah, I got a lot of stuff done, but I think there's going to be a few more times where I'm losing my field because it's wonky the way things move on the screen. But yeah, I've picked up a lot. I'm getting a lot more comfortable with moving around in here. Like changing this back to generic really only took me like 2 minutes because I knew exactly where to go, what to click. So all that stuff is starting to get more familiar. And I got to make sure that as I'm doing each thing, I keep going back to them, cycling around, because it'll keep it fresh in my mind. Same thing with my Go stuff. I got to keep going back, work on Go for a few days, come back, work in Unity for a few days, go back and work in Go a few days, work on my React a few days, just to keep all of my knowledge fresh and strengthening, getting solid and more sturdy. And then it'll be easier to jump around between things. So, oh, nope, wrong. All right, so we got this. That triggers the walk. But see, then my shift, nothing is, my run is not triggering, whatever I'm doing. And it kind of sort of triggered when I was on the other screen. So it could be I'm missing something here. Extending animation playtime based on holding a button. This can be achieved by continuously updating the speed parameter in the animator. While the button is held down, if the button is released, the speed parameter should return to its default value. shift key not triggering the run state. This likely means the input handling for the shift key isn't correctly updating the speed parameter, or the animator transitions aren't configured to respond to the correct speed value. Steps to fix. Ensure the fixed speed controller script is correctly deleting the shift key, detecting the shift key, and updating the speed parameter. Animator transition. So, fixed speed controller. Animation transition configuration. Verify that the animator transitions are set up to respond to the speed parameter. Yeah, they already are. Walk, speed, yeah, I got all that. Example code for input handling. Fixed speed controller. Okay, so let's go and look and see what this looks like. Well, that's tiny. Oh, it's not tiny. It's the same. It's actually more. It's bigger. Okay. Void handle movement input. Is that a new thing? Oh, no, handle movement input. Take a look at my fixed speed controller. Time is it? It's 4 o'clock already. I burned through my one day. I hate it, but I have to go back to doing dashing again. I haven't dashed in a couple weeks because it was paying so crappily. But my wife mentioned we usually go to this camping trip on in the summer. It's just like a church-related camping trip, but we've always enjoyed it. It's always fun. But we've skipped it the last couple of years because, you know, one thing or the other. Like my wife's back has been bothering her, but she's had back surgery and her back's really good now, and she was thinking she'd like to go this year. It's not the most expensive trip. It's a couple hours drive, and then, you know, not terribly tons. 7:04. That's right. You are 3 hours later than me. That's right. And so I kind of like to say, yeah, let's do it. It's not the worst thing we can do, even when I'm unemployed, because it's not a huge expense. But I thought, well, I could go DoorDash, and I could probably make enough money to pay for that trip if I do it for a month. Do a month to pay for a $200 trip. Pretty sad you got to work for a month to get $200. But yeah, you know, it's funny, lately I've been getting a couple of people, friends of mine, who have recommended me for jobs at their company that look like I would fit. So I would think, these people probably at least call me, right? Nope. Not even a call. They want to, you think you have a referral and you kind of fit the job description. You think they would like at least call you. All right, so, and this is the deal. I don't worry about it too much because I am trying. I'm doing what I can. And I feel like, you know, in all my praying, talking to God, I'm like, you know, any job that comes up, God, I'm going to take. But because I assume, you know, that's the one you want for me, right? But what I've also said is I'd rather do something like this and be able to get this game going and developed and out and hopefully make money from it. But a job's more important. I need money. And sometimes I feel like lately it's almost so quiet, so ridiculously quiet in the callbacks. I mean, like, it doesn't matter how good it looks like I fit a job and how perfect I seem to sync up, and it's crickets. I feel like God's like, yeah, that's fine. Just keep working. You're just like, keep working. It'll be fine. I got you covered. It's like, but you realize got me covered means I'm going through my my retirement money, right? And he doesn't like respond, obviously, not in a way that I can hear. I'm always like suspicious of people go like, yeah, you know, God was talking to me last night. Was he? Really? What makes you so special? It's like, you know, God doesn't like just talk to people outright. Well, yeah, I'm thinking my goal my goal is 2 years. I know that's about half the time it takes to do a good game, but my goal is 2 years to get it out. And I'm hoping. Right now, let's put it this way: AI has put me in a place where I'm at least 4 months ahead of schedule right now, based on just lack of knowledge. It's it's getting. I did a measurement of my code the other day. I've written 50,000 lines of code of between Mongo, React, Go. I haven't checked at all since the code I've added to this, but this is only a few hundred lines of code. But that's my code. There's like another 15, 20,000 lines of code that just belong to the system, you know, when you build it. That's a lot of freaking code on data on applications I didn't know in December at all. And it's just kind of cranking out every time I work. Now it's a lot slower because I'm working on this guy, but I think AI is going to accelerate. It's going to make things faster and more doable as it keeps guiding and teaching and providing knowledge. And also, it writes a lot of code. It does the code so you get the syntax right. What do you mean? What did I use to check code? You mean like GPT or a Claude, or do you mean like am I doing unit testing, or what do you mean check code? Oh, you mean to count my lines? Um, Darn it. It's I want to say it was called Clock. Did I write it down? I hope I did because I need to do it again. I want to do it again. I'll probably do it every month or so just to kind of get a feel. But um, shoot, where did I write it? I know I wrote it down somewhere. I got my tag testing. Oh, I've been putting in unit testing too. I put that into a couple of my. I got to keep adding it to new services, but I haven't done them all yet. Stream release it. Dang it! Where did I put it? Career collection game. Arg. You know what? I could just ask. Let's ask. What was? Oh, I don't want to ask this though, because what is it? There's a built-in one actually with Go. I want to say it's like croc or grok, something like that. What is the line command to get a line count of code in VS Code? Oh, that's not it. That's not it. No. This is a mixed project of Go, React. There's a built-in nope. Now this guy's not giving me the answers I got last time. What was the name of it? Nick. Oh wait, I know. Let's do this. Let's go here. It wasn't that long ago. Okay, so look. This is what I did about a month ago. And I've gotten up like 10,000 lines since. So this is what it was. Do I have the... So if you want to know, you can go look at my 4.8 stream. or I'll figure it out and put it up again later. But this is what it gave me back when I did it like a little over a month ago. Yeah, it's a bash command. And it gave me this response. So this is my Go code, 18,000 lines of Go code. JSON code, which is just the files I created plus some other system stuff. But then there's my JSX code, which is mostly the React stuff. Then YAML, I think, is the GitHub stuff. And I also have, it was like Docker in here. Oh, protocol buffers. I got 4,000 lines of protocol buffers, but a lot of that is generated. So it's probably about a third of that belongs to me of actual code I wrote. Gradle's stupid. These things don't mean anything. Docker files, only 137 lines there. But yeah, let's see. Clock, C-L-O-C is what it is. That's what it is. I don't remember. I got to feel what let's see what the command was. What is the C-L-O-C command again to get my line counts? Okay, so you'll need to install Clock if you're using VS Code. I guess you can do it through Choco. I have Choco on my system too, but if you're using NPM, you can do it this way. And then you could do Clock dot, and then you can exclude things you don't want, like node modules. Actually, you know what? I don't know that I excluded node modules. Node modules is huge. I bet you it's less. It feels like, honestly, my estimate in my head at the time was my personal code was 10 to 15,000 lines of code. And I estimated that this was 50,000, and I'm like, okay, I'll take 20,000 off of that and give it to me. So I figured I was about 30,000 at the time. I think I'm currently probably about 10,000 lines more, but I don't know. I may have overestimated. Let's see here. Let's go bash. Also, let's take out, oops, I don't want to reinstall it. Let's just do this. Let's get a new count. Yeah, sure. So getting rid of node modules is actually pretty huge because that's a gigantic folder. With all the crap you install, it's a lot of stuff. So that could reduce it by 50%. Easily. I don't know that dist or build fields are going to do anything. Oh, that's not everything. Be on closed. File handle. Oh, that just broke completely. I don't know what that is. That totally did not do what I expected it to do. What is this? -B on closed file handle. Now, I have added in my Unity code in here too. So, I don't know. I could be. So, I got FPFM here. This is Unity here. My Unity code project. This will allow me to check in everything together as one big happy family. So, I got web. my Go stuff, and now my Android Unity stuff. But something blew up. I don't know what it was. Line 6492. What the heck? FH. And you do have to kind of do it at the root, because if you don't, you won't get everything. What? There's this. I have a feeling since I think I am using the latest version, to be honest, but oh, is it still doing stuff? Look, it's counting still. 4,200, 4,300. It's still going. I didn't realize it was still counting. I didn't even notice this number changing. So I guess I have to let it. Yes, eventually. I will compile it for Apple at some point. I mean, really, compiling for Apple probably won't be a huge deal, but it's really the biggest problem isn't going to be recompiling the code. The biggest problem is going to be reconfiguring aspect ratios. You got to fit all the devices. Now, some devices, it'll probably be easy because they'll be so close to the same. But because I feel like not very many companies give very good service to foldables, my first thing will be a foldable phone aspects. So I'm gonna do like the Galaxy Fold 5, 6. You know, I'll probably do starting at 5. I'm not gonna worry about 4. They're close enough. Whatever. Because 5 is what I have. Yeah, I'm not gonna be going all Apple anytime soon. Yeah, that's true. I don't even know if I would. I think you can compile for it without using, but I wouldn't be able to test my compiles without having an Apple phone. So I'd be creating an Apple compilation using what do you call it? What are they called? Emulator. And I'd be putting the emulation up there to test, but I'd have to give are they even called APKs? What are they called when you give them to Apple? They're iOSs. I don't know what they use them. Android are called APKs. But you'd have to create it and then put it out there and say, hey, anybody want to test this Apple app? Put it on your phone, see how it works. If that's the case, if I can't build without an emulator, or if I can't build with an emulator, then it'd probably be a while. Oh, it's an iPhone application. Makes sense. All right, let's fix this. Yeah, that's probably what I'll have to do. A lot of well, not a lot. There are IDEs that can emulate other devices, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure which ones do it. I think Unity actually has some built-in compilers. I don't know. I don't know about Apple, but you can change like the device types. I think Unity will do that. All right, so Facebook compiler, let's say 4, 8, 180 image of speed. Animator one was, let's see what we got here. 5, blah, 0, 0, blah, 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 serialized, true. Debug options on, start, null, animator standing, debug, fixed speed controllers, update, handle movement input, horizontal, left shift, it's running. Vector 3 horizontal. I'm trying to see what it did that changed anything. Is running, float speed running, quaternion, delta. Position, direction, plus speed is time delta time. If debug logs and is running. And yeah, we'll just replace this because I guess we're not going to do it only for running. Okay, so what else we got? We got to go on to update animation speed. Math alert, current delta, set speed parameter, debug out, show debugs, blah, 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 abs, float, current, on, blah, 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 parameter. Okay. Nothing there. Speed, animator value, full speed parameter. Force run animation. Force run animation. Animator no. Float. Running value. Running value. Running value. Current. Force run speed animation. Running value. Animation state information. Get current information. Then we got this null. Animator state. Everything's. I don't think we did anything except add logging. Key changes, improved debugging, extended animation playtime. Oh, you did? Ensure the speed parameter remains consistent while the button is held down. You did? How did you, where and when did you do that? I don't see any changes in, do I see a change in numbers anywhere? Apply to animate remove character. Wait, did it do something else? It added stuff in here. Still trying to figure out what it thinks it did here. Because all that is debug stuff. Oh shoot, that's why it's a problem. It keeps going back to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is always defaults here in Visual Studio. And it's kind of a pain because ChatGPT is very bad at just telling you what you need to change. It says, this is the entire thing, and if it's got a 500 line of code, it'll show you the entire line of code. the entire sheet of code, even though you're only changing like one line. This is your fix. And you're like, okay, what did you change? You don't know if you changed 1 or 100 lines unless you step through it all. It's like, it's not exactly what I wanted. Now it says I changed something here. It's just not telling me what. And I'm trying to figure out what it did. Left shift. Key code left shift key key. Alright. And it's the same. 0, 0, 5, 1, 5, 5, 0, 180, 8, 4. I don't see any changes. Whatever it thinks it changed, other than this logging, I don't know what it did. Reset the speed parameter standing value when no input. You compare your code to mine and tell me specifically what you changed, because it's annoying trying to find it. He says he did like 3 different things, but I see 2 log entries. That's it. What are you talking about? You changed fixed speed controller code, but I don't see changes made. Right, go away. You're making me mad. I'm getting a headache. I don't know why. I'm drinking. Alexa, turn off Firestorm. But I'm starting to get some kind of a headache. I don't know. So I'm almost done. I'll have to take a break. I don't have that much time left. It's 4:30, 30 minutes. All right. So we are here, and we can turn. Everything works except the shift. So what is going on? All right. Why do they keep doing it? Can I change the default? Is there a way to change the default? Nope, guess not. Stop changing. Can you see what might be going on with preventing the shift key from activating the run or suggest where I would imagine it's something in here, but it's somewhere between this guy, this guy, No, I disabled one of those. It mentions them, but I disabled everything except the fixed speed controller. I disabled all the other script components. Only fixed speed controller currently checked. Inspector for this model. Left shift, yep, tried it. Debug mode overrides. The animation debugger has an override other controllers flag. Try these solutions. Ensure only one controller is active. It didn't really set. Does that have a set override? No. These ones have override. Oh, only that one has an override. Huh, interesting. Verify the debug logs to see what it's could be running value. Oh, that's true. That's true. It is. Right. Hey, I got it. Now he's running whatever direction I send him, except he's not actually moving. Kind of funny. He is kind of moving. He's just moving really slow. It's like he's running on ice. I'm gonna get there eventually. Yay! It's just like he's doing his best Wile E. Coyote impersonation. And his feet are too low. All right, let's raise him up. Dude, you need to get yourself out of the ground. So we just need to raise you up just a tad. His feet still kind of sink into the ground. Guess I got to raise him up some more. That's really high, though. I mean, he's literally floating. Wonder if there's a positional. That doesn't feel like that's the way it should be. So honestly, hmm. It's like when he goes to animate. When he goes to animate, he like sinks into the ground. Yeah, even when his foot is flat. So it's like only during the animation. He seems to sink into the floor, but only when animation starts. Get the current vertical position, calculate a proper ground offset based on animation state. If standing still, ensure proper height. If a slight offset when moving to prevent sinking. More offset for running. They call the method at the end of the update method. Well, guys, I think it's time for me to take a break. I got my guy moving. That's a start. Eventually, now I got to figure out how best to implement multiples of him to get like a quarterback on the field and other fun stuff. But first things first, got a few days to go. Let's see what this week beholds or holds. I have to do my planning. I got to do ClickUp to start figuring out what I'm going to do for this sprint because I haven't done a sprint plan for this week. See what I can accomplish and check off the old list. But I'm going to have to start doing some things with my field and just trying to clean things up. I'd like to put a mesh on there that's a little bit more grassy so it looks better. But that shouldn't be too bad, right? Then I just need to start putting some guys in the field and see what happens. Maybe I want to see what it looks like when I actually get 11 guys on the field. That should be interesting. Just start dropping them all on, see what happens. Until next time, God bless.